Good morning, everyone. How's the energy? Good? Excellent. My name is Lulu. I'm a brand evangelist. I'm a huge believer in the power of a brand, and I hope at the end of this session, you will be a believer as well. Okay, so think about all the assets that you have. Which do you think is your most valuable asset? Your mutual funds, did I hear someone say? Ourselves? Oh, that was too easy. Indeed, it is your personal brand. But what is your personal brand made of? Is it your name? Your business card? We very proudly give out our business cards. Is it how you market yourself? Maybe on LinkedIn? Is it articles that are written about you? Is that what your personal brand is? Actually, it is all of those, but it's none of those as well. Walter Landau, our founder, once very famously said that products are built in the factory, but brands are really created in the mind. Fundamentally, your brand is about associations. It's those 1, 2, 3 things that you uniquely want to stand for in the minds of your audiences. It's the story that you want to tell about yourself to everybody that you serve. It's why you wake up in the morning and think about serving all of your customers. It's how you are different from other advisors. Are you more knowledgeable? Are you more friendly? Are you kinder? Are you gentler? Are you faster? That's positioning. And also your personality. What is it like to interact with you? How do you make your customers feel? That's brand or story. And then there's branding. I don't know if you've ever thought about the difference between brand and branding. Branding is the signal system. It's everything that we can use to get the message out there. So your name, your website, your LinkedIn profile, your articles, yes, but it's also how you look, how you speak, how you interact, even the handshake. All of that makes up your personal brand. Now, what's really interesting is that we spend a lot of time on the signal system on the right-hand side. And we think that's what branding is, where actually you have to spend quite a bit of time with yourselves, with your inner mind, to think about your brand, of defining it. Because brand is reputation. And Jeff Bezos, poor guy, I don't want to talk about his reputation right now, but he very famously said, your brand is what people say when you're not in the room. So when I leave today, what you think about me, the associations you have after this presentation, will create my personal brand. I'm sure you recognize all of these people. What do they have in common? Any answers? Brand? Actually, they have a very clear sense of who they are and what their magnetic north is. They have very strong and unwavering personal brands. So Oprah is really about challenging viewers to live the best possible lives that they ever could by understanding their own potential. Branson, love what a maverick he is. For him, it's really staying true to his core values, which include adventure, risk-taking, and excitement. And then on the other hand, you have Federer, who's all about sportsmanship, excellence, commitment, and humility in the face of extreme greatness. Another way to think about it is personal branding is really about how you're remembered as an individual. If you were to pass away today and people had to tweet about you, sorry for that morbid thought, what would they say about you? What is the legacy? What is the feelings that you've left behind in the minds of others? I want to spend a little bit of time on positioning. This is really the key to building your personal brand. A Khan is a Khan is a Khan, right? Well, actually, you have the romantic Khan, or you have the man of the masses Khan, or you have the intellectual Khan. So all 3 actors, all Khans, but very, very different positioning. There are 200 mutual fund advisors here. You all have your expertise. I'm sure you know your business very, very well. So how will you stand apart? How will your unique personality actually come to the fore? So you should ask yourself, is everything that you do, how you speak, how you say, is it aligned with how you want to come across and what you stand for? Because what positioning allows you to do is it distills who you are very, very nicely. It articulates your point of difference. All of you have points of similarity here in this industry. The point of personal branding is to really hone in on what makes you different so that it's easy to understand immediately when you interact with your customers. Because if you don't, people may not understand where you're coming from, and you can't differentiate with the others. When you differentiate and create a very strong personal brand, you drive success for your business as a consultant. So I would ask you to think about one exercise that you could do at home, which is to write your elevator pitch. If I just had 30 seconds with you in an elevator, and you have no more than 10 words, what is it that you would say? Or in an interview, somebody says, tell me about yourself. Don't start with, I graduated from school in 1975. Think about a short, descriptive, very powerful positioning statement about yourself. You can draw from your skills. You can draw from your strengths. You can draw from the credibility. Maybe you worked at a large organization, or draw from the values, what you really believe about serving your customers. And a combination of this is what creates your elevator pitch. I hope you'll have a fun time doing this. A couple of things that you should think about. How you dress is really important. We have Queens of England, and then we have Queens of England. They made very, very different statements about who they are and what their values represent based on the wedding gown that they chose. How you speak is extremely important as well. You may want to get some feedback from your clients and friends in terms of how you come across when you're speaking to others. Here's a quick, really funny clip that I'd like to play for just a couple of minutes.
अच्छा, I'll be using some Hindi and some English because basically India में मतलब हमारी English ऐसे ही है बस. See, my friends keep telling me, यार Rajneesh, improve your English, read books. तू books पढ़ेगा ना, you will learn new words. Is that a good thing to learn new words? Is that a good thing? Bro, in Gurgaon, you hit any Scorpio from behind, you will learn new words. इतना शौक है नहीं मुझे. I find actually English very boring, yaar. आप लोगों ने वो देखा है BBC World Weather News? Perfect English, right? They speak, they say things like, Delhiites woke up to an unusually warm day. Unusually warm day. Switch on to our channel. आसमान से बरस रहे थे आग के गोले.
You get the point. The way you deliver, the tone of voice, the words that you choose make a huge difference as to how you're portrayed and how you come across. We also underestimate the importance of how you write emails and what that communicates about you. Many of us don't even use full sentences. We're very casual sometimes. But it's a reminder that how you ask or how you communicate has a huge impact on whether you get what you want in your interactions with your clients as well. This is a really funny example of writing to customer service and the impact that different tonalities have. And then, of course, really critical is using social media to build your brand. There's Facebook, there's LinkedIn, there's Instagram, there's Twitter. As a professional, I would say that perhaps your name, lastname.com is probably the most valuable. So in my case, it would be luluraghavan.com. Don't check it out. I haven't yet invested in it. I do have all my other channels. But if you're building your business just on your brand name, it would be really, really important to have that as well. But don't do this if you haven't spent the time to really think about how you're different and the unique value that you create for your customers in servicing them. I want to end with 10 thought starters for building your personal brand. Do remember that nurturing your brand and building it is like raising a child. You're giving it an identity and values. Your child grows. The returns won't be immediate, but there's a lot of fun in seeing and in directing the course. It's over a period of time that you actually see the benefits. So the first one is the ripple effect. Forget any of this if you're not sleeping well, eating better, moving better, and thinking better. Because all your hopes for taking your business to greater heights is all going to come crashing down. I know I don't need to tell you this, but this is a wonderful book by Greg Well called The Ripple Effect, which talks about how all 4 of these are interlinked. Sometimes we think about them individually in terms of moving or sleeping, but actually they're all very, very interlinked. And your career success, your personal brand is dependent on how well you do this. It's also important to feed your mind. Garbage in, garbage out. Page 3 in, page 3 out. Sorry, page 3. It's really also important to feed your soul and spirit, because a lot of times we're just running. We're going 24/7. For some people, it may be religion. For others, it may be a hobby, meditation, or even aspects of culture. It's really, as a professional, building your brand requires you to take time out. You're not going to be a hero by working 24 hours. You need to take time out to nurture and develop yourself, because when you have interests like this, it makes you a more interesting person and a more memorable personal brand. As you go about this exercise, take time out to define an intent, a vision, or a dream for yourself at work. Going back to the elevator pitch that we talked about, what is your aspiration? Do you want to reach every Indian in India with your mutual fund expertise? Is it all women? Is it underprivileged women? Who are you really aiming to impact with your work is really important. Like we talked about, develop and nurture your persona. Every time I speak to professionals, there's always a little bit of a light bulb moment of how we spend so much time on our company's brands, on the brands that we work on. How many of us actually spend time on our own brand? You do have a voice, use it. Ask questions with your customers, in meetings, and this is especially true for women, because sometimes we can be a little bit more shy when it comes to expressing our opinion. Rajiv talked about this very beautifully in his presentation about the need to step outside your comfort zone to grow. I can't emphasize enough the importance of this to build your personal brand. But also don't think that you have to ape others. I might have showed you Oprah Winfrey and Federer and Branson. It's not to say that they are ones who have to be emulated. You have to lead with your own natural style rather than pandering to a certain stereotype of what a mutual fund advisor is or what kind of boss or manager you are. Sometimes we're shy. We think it's negative to have a personal brand and to promote yourself. But you have to have a fine balance of showing off too much with your achievements on LinkedIn or Facebook, but also making people know that this is what you do for others. Then, of course, the real importance of promoting others, and it's not just men or not just women, it's really both. Your personal brand will become stronger the more you mentor, coach, and promote others. And the most important thing to say here is be yourself, because everyone else is taken. We spend way too much time trying to be someone else, to chase somebody else's formula. I think the most important takeaway, or what I'd like to share with you, is you have a unique potential that's within you. Spend the time to really tap into it, to understand its power, to unlock it, and then use the power of branding to really make it known, to reach out, to create those emotional connections and bonds with others. Would love to have your questions on this. We do have time. I'm right on time. I can see I have 1 minute left. But hopefully we can open it up, because I'm sure you have questions on personal branding. Is there a brave soul? Come on, Prem, I'm sure you have a question. I'll put you on the spot.
See, the 3 ingredients of success for the audience here, the 3 most important ingredients of their brand are trust, competence, and integrity.
Yeah.
Any cue. What is it that they can do which could cue these things to their audience?
That's a great question. So did everyone hear the question? Prem said trust, competence, and integrity are critical components of the brands of financial advisors. Now, you can't say I'm trusted, you can't say I'm competent, or you can't say I'm honest, trust me, right? You have to demonstrate it. And going back to what I said with all the touch points that you have, how are you demonstrating it in every meeting, in every email, in every interaction that you have with your client? So I would say, think about every interaction with the client as an opportunity to strengthen your personal brand. Whatever it stands for, make sure that it's coming through in your interaction with your clients.